Hey guys, Jamie of Magnum Opus Canine Training here. I was out with my Beauceron thrall the other day, just working, training with him, just enjoying like walking around this very public, like touristy type of area in my city. And I was thinking about like, why do so many Beaucerons end up in like shelters and rescue situations, and people like hardcore struggle with them? And I was thinking about this information, and it can also pertain to like really any high drive, high energy, like high demanding type of dog, especially the dogs with stronger characters geared towards like protection and guarding. And then especially like at this dog's size, like why do people just end up in over their heads? So I wanted to take this time to talk about like why people fail with them, and just explain like what does it really take to handle like this kind of dog. And my background is I've been working with dogs professionally for about 20 years now, and my training business went full-time in 2019. I work independently, and I handle and work with mostly like reactivity cases, behavior modification cases, dealing with a lot of like anxiety, fearful dogs, nervous dogs, and just all different kinds of aggression. So as far as Beaucerons go, I also wanted to make this video as someone who is a first-time Beauceron owner. I've been raising, training, and handling thrall for almost 7 years now, and I have never like trained or competed in any protection sports with this breed, so he's my first one. And as far as I know currently, he is just like one of 2 Beaucerons in the world and in the sport of PSA who are competing in the level 1s, if that tells you anything. So this breed can be tricky and difficult, and it's very easy for people to get in over their head. So I hope this video can help shed some light and help get you guys thinking and come up with any questions like you may have that could help with discussion surrounding these dogs that can help guide like someone who is interested in this breed or currently struggling with them. Beaucerons usually do not fail because they're bad dogs. They fail because they're misunderstood, they're mismatched, or they're underprepared for real life. So the same traits that make these dogs incredible working dogs are the exact ones that overwhelm a lot of homes. So I wanted to go over like big repeat offender type reasons on why these dogs like end up in rescues and shelters. I'm also going to keep it real with you guys. I'm not into like BSing people and diminishing like what this breed is capable of and what they're about as a breed completely engineered to do work and not just be like a social pet, especially at their size. There's always like bigger liability there. So yeah, let's get into it. So number 1, they are way more dog than people expect. Everyone likes to talk about how smart, loyal, and protective this breed is. In reality, what that means is they can be intense, they're driven, they're opinionated, and physically powerful. Some people like expect a nicer German Shepherd or a sporty family dog. Instead, they get a dog that pushes boundaries, a dog that doesn't automatically submit, and a dog that needs structure. So when owners can't physically or mentally manage them, things can go south really fast, and people find themselves like hardcore on that struggle bus. Number 2, lack of early competent leadership. Beaucerons need clarity, not permissiveness and not chaos. Common mistakes people make are inconsistent rules, letting puppy behavior slide because they're cute, waiting too long to address guarding, reactivity, or pushiness. These dogs do not forget bad habits, they build on them. So by the time your Beauceron is like 90 plus pounds, and confident in their own decisions, many owners feel trapped. This is a pretty dicey breed to get as a first-time owner if you are not really savvy with dog behavior and guarding behaviors and like any of the breed traits that are common for these guys, and especially like any like reactivity or a dog that is truly pushy and wants to be in control and wants to control. Number 3, genetic guarding instincts misunderstood or ignored. Beaucerons are supposed to be suspicious of strangers, notice changes in the environment, take responsibility seriously. What happens instead is owners punish warning signs or they ignore them completely. So this leads to escalated reactivity, like bite risks, and like people will say, oh, behavior, this came out of nowhere. When in reality, like they just had no idea how to actually like read their dog, understand them, or properly like lead them. And then shelters are going to like see these dogs and label them as aggressive or like unstable when they're actually just unmanaged working guardians. Number 4, under socialization or bad socialization. Beaucerons do not need to meet everyone. They need to learn neutrality. But many are overstimulated as puppies, people putting them in dog parks, forcing greetings, etc. Or they isolate them and never teach them how to exist calmly in public. So I've seen that with like some people who think, oh, I'll just like shield and hide my dog from everyone. They're not going to be around people and they're going to be super protective. Well, what ends up happening is they become a loose cannon and think everyone's a threat. They usually become like super reactive and just completely unsettled and nervous, or just super forward aggressive with everyone. Once the dog decides the world is unsafe, it's really hard to reverse that without serious work. And a lot of new people to behavior training or like more advanced training really don't quite understand what that serious work actually means and how consistent they need to be. Number 5, too smart for their own good and the owner's skill level. Beaucerons learn patterns very fast, including loopholes. Owners struggle with manipulative behaviors, selective listening, and dogs that obey only when it benefits them. A bored Beauceron will create jobs, guard resources, control space, and invent rules. As a herding breed, they are fairly biddable, which means like they're pretty easy to work with. They want to train with you. They get enjoyment out of that. But you really need to understand herding breed traits and like what does herding entail. And then you'll better understand like why this breed can be so pushy and controlling. Number 6, energy and drive with no outlet. This is not a long walk in a puzzle toy type of breed. Without proper outlets like tracking, obedience with accountability, bite work, protection sports, herding, or structured jobs, they turn inward, and that's when the bad behaviors manifest. People think the dog is broken when the dog is just unemployed. Number 7, household mismatch. Kids, guests, and chaos. Beaucerons do not thrive in loud, unpredictable homes, constant visitors with no boundaries, owners who avoid confrontation. They need clear expectations, management, and advocacy. So if you feel guilty about enforcing structure, your dog is going to become the bad guy. Number 8, breeders placing dogs in the wrong hands. This is a big one. Problems include selling to first-time working breed owners, downplaying the difficulty, prioritizing looks over nerve and stability. So when reality hits at around 18 to 36 months, that's when rescues are going to get the fallout. So the truth is, most Beaucerons in rescue are not broken, not evil, not untrainable. They're just serious dogs that needed serious ownership and didn't receive it. Let me know if this video resonated with you or if you learned something new. I know there's a lot of opinions out there about people who gatekeep in different breeds, and I don't want to say that like a first-time owner cannot be successful with this breed. There's obviously a lot of very good examples out there of people doing incredible things with this breed, and it's their first dog ever or first working breed. But, you know, there are some things that cannot be ignored, and there are very important things that people need to be aware and be educated on, and people really need to do their homework. And it also has to be said that not all research, not all homework is good research, good homework. You really need to consider your sources, especially with working breeds. So hopefully you got something out of this. I hope it means something more coming from a first-time Beauceron owner who also has the background of training working breeds and specifically like herding and protection and guarding breeds. Stay safe and stay educated out there. I'm always available for any questions or discussions. You can find me on Instagram, Magnum Opus Canine, Facebook, Magnum Opus Canine Training, has all my reviews. And I'm constantly posting educational content on dogs. I'm currently training dogs I've worked with and my personal dogs. So you can see a wide variety of different breeds and behaviors.